Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's review, I'm going to be doing a review to the 21st episode of I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here 2024. Oti, Colleen, Reverend Richard and Danny are now facing Cyclone, and it's now Cyclone Day. Reverend Richard asked Danny whether he slept well, and Danny said that the food put him to sleep. Alan said, seeing the loved ones, it felt like they've been knitted so close together in there. And GK said that she was anxious because she wanted to get through to Cyclone and it's just stressing her out, not knowing either way. Danny said to Oti and Colleen, it's kind of like being in like a live band jungle dressing room with just every day that there's just music and singing and the rest of it going on. Reverend Richard said that GK was funny, witty and great, with GK saying her and Alan are now going to go and get a Prosecco because obviously the both of them were out of the jungle. Colleen said having her northern connection with Alan was quite good, and Oti said that obviously now they've lost two strong people from the jungle, and GK said that she did very well, she was very brave. No, Oti said that GK had done very well and that she'd been very brave, with Danny saying he was amazed to be in the top four, sad for the two of them to go, but obviously happy that he's now in the top. Reverend Richard said they need to stand up to the challenges that lie ahead. He is the man of the forest, but he has a splinter. We then found out the superhero costumes. So Oti was gold, with Oti saying to Danny that he needed to break the internet. Colleen was liking the purple that Danny was wearing, but she was obviously red. Reverend was blue, and Colleen said she can't believe that she's doing this. Red goes with her socks. Danny was the purple python, Colleen was the lava girl, Oti was Captain Pocker, and Reverend Richard was Steeple Man, ding dong. And Danny basically said python's getting a star, Colleen said she was shocked to be here, and Reverend Richard said he's going to eat the cyclone. What they had to do on their spinning twisters was put the stars onto the marker, move the stars up, and obviously, yeah, so the first person at the bottom would have 4 stars, the next one would take 3 of those stars and move up, the next one would take 2 of those stars, move up, the next one would take 1 of those stars, move up, and they have to just sit and wait. Obviously, the wardens and, you know, the people involved had all their water pistols, they had their balls, they had fire, they had everything, and it wasn't going to be as easy as that. So the order they decided to do was Reverend Richard first, he didn't have to travel as far, then Oti, then Colleen, and then Danny would sprint all the way to the top. And apparently the wardens were a little bit extra dangerous and extra eager to knock them down. So yeah, water, balls and stars. Reverend Richard said that was as bad as a bad 70s movie. Oti said that she's almost knocked out by the Rangers. She was just protecting herself by kind of punching the balls out of the way. And Danny said he was protected by Colleen, and he was only brave whilst he was on his tummy. Colleen said the balls were in their face, the water was everywhere, and Oti said it was worth every snake and every critter, well done them, with Reverend Richard saying, I wish we could do that again. Oti also added this as their last lunch as a 4, with Danny having to complete secret mission to be able to win treats for all the campmates. So he basically had to hide a ranger and keep it hidden until further notice. So it was this tiny little ranger, so he hid it in the leaves, that's fine, he went back. The ranger was a little bit bigger, so there's a second one he had to hide. So in total we had to hide 4, so he had this one, that one, and then like a life-sized one that he had to hide somewhere. So in order to hide that one, he had to pretend to the other 3 to go and look for a koala somewhere that he'd apparently seen a koala hanging off the trees, so Danny could go to the toilet. He then hid the large one in the leader's lodge under the quilt in the middle of the 2 beds, with Oti saying he's playing games with us. Colleen asked him what he's up to, and Danny said, no, I'm not up to anything. And then Reverend Richard said to Colleen and Oti, do you suspect that something's happening? And yeah, anyway, the end of the task came, and Danny read out the note saying that there was four rangers that he had to hide in 4 minutes, and if they can now find those 4 rangers again, they're going to win ice creams for the 4 of them. And Danny said lying is bad, but it's worth it if you manage to get an ice cream out of it as well. And Reverend asked Danny what he was like at school, and he said he was like a teacher's mate. He was friends with one of his male teachers, and he kind of gave him the okay to like flirt with the girls. Colleen said that Wayne was the first boyfriend that she brought home, and for dinner they had wallaby wings. Colleen said it was a nice dinner, she was happy to help out. Reverend Richard said that a tongue twister such as unique New York was very difficult to say. Unique New York, unique. And then Danny joined in with his own one, Cheryl Cole, Cheryl Crow, Cheryl Cole, Cheryl Crow. Oti said it was sentimental, looking back on what they've learnt about themselves, and the cyclone has cycloned up since the last series. Danny said he's happy and sad. Colleen said she's had a lot more fun and the days have been a lot more rewarding as the days have gone on. And Oti said she wanted to play her song in camp because she has 3 plays of her song in total. We then found out it was either Oti or Danny who was going to be eliminated from the jungle, and in 4th place was quite a shock, but it was Oti. With Oti saying that she was going to miss the others, Danny told her to be strong. Well, she told Danny to be strong and she told Colleen to do it for the girls. So Oti came out of the jungle. She'd spent 22 days in there with spiders, snakes, fear of frogs, and also the ticket to Cyclone, and also managed to get out of 2 eliminations because she was immune. She asked Ant and Dec whether it was fermented champagne, and she also didn't realise there was a spider in her face on one of those challenges. She said that her focus was just to focus and get the job done, because it's not about her, it's about feeding the children in the jungle. She enjoyed the people, she enjoyed the conversations. Jane got them all started, and then the conversations just never stopped. She, similarly to Melvin and some of the others, had 1 or 2 days of crying, but she said it was a unique experience. She's grateful to have been there, and she's still able to be happy after all of that. Ant and Dec said to her that she was the person that was the go-to person, and she basically explained that she was a ray of sunshine. She knew when to give people space, she knew when to chat to people, she knew when someone wanted to have a cry or a cuddle or whatever. And she also added that for someone like Melvin, he was asked to be on the show, so he should obviously be grateful for the opportunity that he was given. She said that the challenge for her was cooking, the trials, and obviously whatever they had for dinner. And there was that one dinner that Maura had thrown away, not realising it was dinner, and she just couldn't deal with change constantly all the time. And then in terms of what she's learnt about being on the show, she said she's learnt about who she is, and the group helped her to become a different version of herself. And she said that out of the final 3, Colleen is strong, Reverend Richard is funny and sensitive, but she wants Danny to win the show. So that is the end of Saturday's episode.